Description. In this lesson, Richard spoke about beat patterns and using them to create style. He stressed that such universal structures are based on the following. The first beat must be strong and distinguishable. Conductors must provide beats, not rhythms. Motions are delivered to the side. We also explored the idea of rehearsing in slow motion and discussed the positive and negative aspects of facial expression as a conducting technique. Feelings. For me, this was going over old ground as I had addressed this in my personal practice. As a result, I felt some frustration, as much as it seemed obvious, but I was interested in discussing ways to express individuality in a performance. Evaluation. The wide range of abilities in this Term 2 class again presented problems, but it was good to reinforce key conducting principles such as the importance of beat 1 and the stress on the downward movement. Given the need to keep an ensemble together, it makes sense, even though, in jazz, the emphasis is often on beats 2 and 4. A conductor must overcome the instinctive desire to set rhythms and must focus on dictating beats, as the tempo may slow if such unnecessary movements distract the musicians. Particularly pertinent was that performers cannot clearly distinguish hand motions towards them. Having occasionally been guilty of trying to convey too much by seeking to draw it out of the musicians, I now recognise that the eye can more readily pick up vertical and horizontal movement. Conveying moods and feelings through a particular type of movement was particularly interesting. Richard described me as quite a naturally fiery conductor, so, although jolted movement, perhaps for an aggressive passage, came quite naturally to me, a smooth beat demands more care and consideration on my part. Analysis. I had previously addressed much of the content, but it was valuable to share Richard's holistic view of conducting and, given the range of abilities in the class, I recognised that some elements would be familiar but that others would be new. I learnt to guard against too much facial expression, which can be useful in moderation but off-putting if used to excess, and, when conducting, I must avoid vocalising scores as it is distracting. Conclusions. As well as achieving a great deal of reinforcement, I picked up several new methodologies, with the most significant the idea of rehearsing in slow motion and the techniques for enhancing individuality in performance. Action plan. I will try slow motion rehearsals as soon as an opportunity presents itself.